We told you yesterday about a controversial court case in Vilas County where tribal harvesters say they saw gunfire on Little St. Germain Lake, feared for their safety and called 911, leading to a St. Germain man being charged with a hate crime. Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan has been following that case. He joins us now live in the studio to give us a little more historical context to tribal harvesting. Dan?
Justin, animosity toward native spear fishermen is nothing new. The 1980s, for example, was a boiling point after a federal court reaffirmed the Ojibwe people's right to hunt and fish on their ceded land.
Ojibwe people have been spearfishing in northern Wisconsin for centuries, long before European contact. In the mid-1800s, Ojibwe tribes signed treaties with the federal government, ceding land while still retaining hunting and fishing rights on those ceded lands. Dylan Jennings works for the Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission, or GLFWC. He says not long after the signing of these treaties, both federal and state governments refused to acknowledge these binding agreements, imposing state and federal law on tribal harvesters.
What we see is in our history here is the tribes were then subject to state law, and those treaties were not taken into consideration.
This changed in 1983 when a federal court ruled that these treaties overrule state law, citing Article 6, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. It reads, "All treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land." This ruling led to a lot of hostility toward tribal harvesters. Jennings said this is based on misconceptions on the impact of walleye populations, which is minimal, and how many walleye spears can catch.
GLFWC member tribes actually implement one of the most highly regulated systems of harvest, arguably in the nation.
All spearfishing lakes have caps, and every walleye caught is accounted for by GLFWC, who then shares the data with the state DNR. Jennings welcomes anybody with questions about tribal harvesting to reach out to GLFWC and asks people to understand that spearfishing is a way of life for Ojibwe people.
When really exercising treaty rights is a part of exercising who they are and their worldview, practicing their cultural life way that they had practiced even prior to European contact.
We will have continuing coverage on the current court case involving the alleged hate crime on St. Germain Lake. The next court date is July 14th. Justin?